Okay. I think yesterday the World Championship for Chinese chess started, and unfortunately, I didn't find any commentary in English, so I will try to find some games and make some commentary for chess players that have learned Chinese chess and are trying to improve in it. Now, this game is from round 2 of the 2023 World XiangQi Championship. Red is Tong Cheng from Hong Kong versus Meng Chen from China. Okay? So Tong Cheng versus Meng Chen. The red player is also known as the Prince of Chaos, and he is the 2023 Hong Kong champion. Hong Kong has obviously a big tradition in Chinese chess, also if the state was given back to China in 1997. So obviously it's a little strange that they participate as a different country. Because they are the same country at this point. Otherwise, why Canton doesn't have a team since they speak the same language of the people from Hong Kong? That's a good question, right? Now, the black player is Meng Chen, known as the Grandmaster Slayer, as he beat lots of GMs when he was still a master. He is the fourth in the runner-up in the 2023 Chinese Championship, and the Chinese Championship is the real World Championship in a sense, because if you win the Chinese Championship, it means you are really the strongest player of all. Now, the problem I think with Chinese chess is that they use this notation, in this case rook 1 equal to, that is not really good for a commentary that is not in Chinese, because it can be difficult to describe some pieces when they are all on the same column or file. Instead, the algebraic notation would definitely be better. But I don't think they want to change to algebraic notation. This move is made to take control of what is considered the 8th file for red, the second file for black, and for us chess players, the B file. I generally use algebraic notation to describe the movement because honestly it's the best. It's from A to I, so A, B, C, D, etc., and from 1 to 10, because there are 10 files. And it's very easy for a chess player to learn, practically, compared to the Chinese notation. For example, in the next move, the Chinese notation is pawn to 3 plus 1, okay? And the fourth column is on the right for red and goes up to 9, while for black, 1, the file 1 is on the left of the red. So that's why it can create some confusion. With that said, pawn 3 plus 1 is what in chess we would say pawn g5. So very easy to remember. And now we have pawn 7 plus 1, which is pawn g6. This is a sacrifice. And in Chinese chess, being very tactical and very open as files, often it's important to give up some pawns to gain time, like in chess. But why? Because the horse, that in chess we call knight, is not able to jump over the pieces. So in order to gain a tempo in the attack, you need to remove the pawn in front. Otherwise, you will never be able to utilize that horse. In this case, is the horse on h10 that we are talking, or on the 8th file of black. Takes, and this is another way that is very important to develop the rooks. At a certain point, one realizes that you develop the rooks not only on files, but also on ranks. And on ranks is important because they can take some control of the center, or they can prevent some soldiers. In Chinese, the pawns, what we call the pawns, are called soldiers. Prevent some soldiers to crossing the river. And that's another use of the rook, that in chess is called rook, but in Chinese chess is called chariot. Well, the pawn is obviously advancing, and this is a big difference with chess, because the pawn gains value as it advances in enemy territory, but when it reaches the last rank, is not good anymore, because differently from chess, the pawn doesn't promote to a queen, or in this case, since in Chinese chess there is no queen, to a rook or another piece that is strong enough to give a checkmate. Now, the commentary here is that the move in Fury, to play it in Fury, is rook to equals 7, which means rook b6 to g6. For forking the pawn on g7 and the elephant on g1. Okay, that's like I told you, it's easier to comment in algebraic. And it's a pity that this chessboard doesn't have the algebraic letters and numbers to better show the viewers that are beginners in chess, or in Chinese chess, and wants to follow the game. Now knight g3, rook on g6, attacking the pawn on g7 and the knight on g3. Okay, so as we can see, this horse escape the fork, is protecting that pawn, that soldier, and is also attacking in the center the soldier on e7. And that's kind of interesting, because the central column, it's kind of important in Chinese chess, and one can win very, very easily if it takes control of it, because no pieces can go then in front of the other general, or what we call king in chess, to defend it, and so it's very easy to give a checkmate. But of course, these are professional Chinese chess players, so they will not easily be checkmated. Now, as we can see, of the two players, the one who gain a tempo is black, because now he positioned maybe the rook where he wanted to play it in the beginning, but red didn't gain anything from it. It's in the same position as before. So sometimes we must be careful about this kind of maneuvers, because we are giving the opponent an advantage. And now there is again the possibility of having a tactical kind of pattern that in chess we would call skewer. What is the skewer? It's when we attack two pieces that are on the same line, or in chess on a diagonal, and when one of the two pieces move, the other falls. So it's a kind of bad, right? So he wants to play rook e9 and then i9 and then g9 to attack the pawn on g7 and the horse on g3. Now, this move is very interesting because in one sense, red is blocking the protection of the pawn e4 from the knight on c3, and then, however, is preparing to protect the knight on g3. How? Probably moving the elephant. The elephants are, in reality, the two black pieces in the top, on the side of what I call mandarins. And on the bottom, on the red side, they are not elephants, they are what we would call a real bishop, since it's a man with a tablet. They already had a tablet in the time in China. It seems so. That's funny. Okay, so how does black answer to this defensive move? Attacking the defensive piece, no? Boom! With this rook d9. Now he needs to find a way to protect everything, and so it's starting to become a little problematic. Once more, we can see the function of the chariot or rook on the river that is helping to push the pawns and create development squares for the horse on c8. What else? Let's see. Now I go down a little. Yes. Takes. Oh, very interesting. Now it seems there are multiple possible moves. One could be the one called A is the rook on a3. The one called B is knight from g3 to f5, or knight 3 plus 4. And the one that is called C is knight b5, horse b5, or horse 7 plus 8, using the terminology of the Chinese chess. And here the comment on the site that I'm using to see the game, because I didn't find any other site to see the games, says the right way to protect the horse. Check the other variation from the last position to see what would happen if red would choose one of the other moves. Now, I think the commentary for this game, it's already becoming long, 13 minutes. I don't want going deep into the variations, because sometimes that would just make people bored. So let's go on with the moves and try to understand what's going on. Now, as you can see, when I told you that the cannon that moved on the side of the palace was trying to protect the other knight, the knight on g3, it created a weakness on e4 that black is trying to exploit with this attack. And nothing. Now we can see that the horse is developed, so it's creating the possibility to play another strong move. What is the strong move about? There is this elephant in c1, that is the 7th file of red. It's not protected at all. If black plays cannon in what I call a8 to c8, is curing the knight on c3 and the elephant on c1. The problem of the elephant on c1 is that if black would be able to play cannon c8, c1 is a checkmate. So that's why it's a kind of powerful skewer, this one that is prepared by this move. So every time our opponent play a move, we generally try to ask ourselves why, what's going on the board. And now red obviously tried to protect the horse and the elephant with this move. A move that can also strengthen the defense by red, okay? Generally, the more pieces you put in the middle and the stronger it becomes the defense, and so it makes it difficult for the opponent to make a checkmate threat. And this is interesting. Instead of a cannon on A8, you use the cannon on E8 to attack and do the skewer. That's very interesting. Probably because the pawn on E7 is going to fall, so yeah. Now, this is a very interesting thing. Why red didn't play elephant 7 plus 5 or elephant C1 to E3? Because that would have made more sense. But of course, I'm not a grandmaster level player, so there must be a reason and that we don't know. Notice that these games, in comparison to chess, they have a very fast time control. If I remember well, for this World Championship, it's like 1 hour for the game and maybe 30 seconds increment for each move, something like that. So it's a kind of fast pace, okay? And here the board shows that there are two different variations. Now notice, why did I say the elephant on C1 to go on E3? Because this is the point. This rook is going in what is called the eye of the elephant. Now the two elephants cannot protect each other. The elephant on C1 is still at risk. And like we saw, if black could play cannon C8 to C1, is a checkmate. Rook G1. Now, this is kind of interesting too. So he's trying, because every time I see a move, and obviously I'm not as strong as this professional player, however I ask myself why? Why did he play this move? So I think that now I can see it. I can see even and explain why he moved the central cannon to C8, because he wanted to double the cannons on the C file, and this is becoming very strong. So he wants to play cannon 1 equal 3 or cannon A8 to C8. Okay. And now things are really going bad, I think. Huh? It's really going bad because you see the problem is that clearly black has a majority of pieces on one side. This majority of pieces is overwhelming. This majority of pieces is practically bringing black to a victory. You can see it already now. Boom. And now practically the game is over, because if black can play rook c1, and then when red protects, it's rook c1 take d1 checkmate. So let's see what he does to protect and try to avoid the checkmate. Oops. Notice if red didn't go back, obviously black would have played cannon a3 to a1 or cannon 1 plus 2, giving checkmate. And this is a brilliant move, because if red takes the chariot or the rook on d2, there is a checkmate with cannon 1 plus 1 or cannon a2 to a1. So it's really finishing this game practically. I think the game is already finished. Let's see what they said. Next move, rook 4 equal 2 to block the horse, and cannon 1 plus 1 checkmate. Red resign here. So this is the end of the game. Thank you for everybody who is watching. If you know where we can find other games of this World Championship, please try to tell me so I can do a video commentary for Western chess players that are interested in taking up Chinese chess. I thank you everyone for watching.